Isaiah 53, verse 4, surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. This was what Jesus did for us on the cross. Yes, by the stripes that wounded him were healed. Yes, he was bruised for our transgressions, but this is also something that Jesus did. He took our griefs and sorrows. I think griefs and sorrows being pointed to and actually being like demonstrated and like being in verbiage right there, like the words grief and sorrow being there shows such a display of how much that can affect a believer's life, how much grief and sorrow can reign in a believer's life if they don't know their authority and if they don't know what Jesus Christ has done for them. See, we're not authorized to live in grief. We're not authorized to live in sorrow. It's not normal. It is not God's plan for a believer to be crying on their bed because things are going wrong. It is not God's plan for a believer to be sorrowful. It's not God's plan for a believer to be living in grief. It's not God's plan. Why? Because it says Jesus just bore it. He bore it. He has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. So we're not authorized to live that way. So if we're living that way, we need to point back to the cross and see what he bore for us so that we wouldn't have to deal with it. So if you're dealing with grief and sorrow, know that that wasn't authorized for you, and that's actually of the enemy and maybe you in your flesh even. So you are not authorized, and you shouldn't be living that way because that's not the way Christ intended for you to live.